Hey, what's up, y'all? We got a hot new episode on With That Being Said, and I am your host, Queen Candace. Today on the show, we got my guy, Bougie Brother Sean, Chris Dog, and Dame Diddy. We're gonna hop right into the show. All right, you guys, so if you have not heard about Drake's father, Dennis Graham, he's recently stating that Drake has been putting out in his music that he was not there for him, and he's saying that that is not true. So I'm going to start with you, Bougie Brother Sean. Do you believe that Drake's father, Dennis Graham, is wrong for saying or outing that Drake has been putting on for his music, that he's actually been in his life pretty much every day, he stated?
I think that is out of line for you to even speak on that at any interview. You know what I'm saying? You kind of throwing salt on your son, the one that's putting money in your pocket, you know, biting the hand that feeds you. You should know better than that. You the daddy. You know what I'm saying? And then that, I mean, it just don't add up for me. Now you trying to outshine the person that's actually giving you the shine. It don't add up to me.
Now, Chris Dog, so why do you think that, or give me your take on why do you feel that his dad would even say that about him?
Yeah, if you ever listen to his dad speak, then you wouldn't have to ask that question. That guy is on 10, just like Drake gets it from somewhere, you know? He's a character, and he doesn't necessarily want his name to be defamed. Maybe he feels some kind of way. Maybe he feel like he did more as a parent than Drake saw from his point of view as a child. That can be a perception that's missed, and it could be a disconnect that him and his dad have that they're just ending up solving on the main stage for the world to see. But like I said, maybe the dad thought he did more than Drake thought he did, and that's just something that's gonna have to pan out. It's unfortunate that it's happened in front of the world, though.
Okay, Dame Diddy, what would you say? I mean, maybe he's trying to preserve his own image to not look like a deadbeat father, but do you feel like he's wrong for outing his son, saying that?
If he feels like it's his truth, I guess who's to tell anybody how to speak their truth out loud? At the same time, I do feel like it does somewhat affect Drake's brand for him to say something like that. And on top of that, you don't know how your son feels about the situation. You know what I mean? There's three sides to the story: his side, the other person's side, and then you got the truth. And he is looking at it from his point of view. He does not know how Drake feels about the way they grew up. Just from listening to the music, I feel like, his father is like a lot of the people's fathers that I knew. They're there, they give money, but they're on the road. His dad was a musician too. So more than likely he wasn't there as much as he thinks he was. And sending money does not, take the place of time actually spent with the children. So I think his dad was probably wrong in his critique.
So I'm going to say this. I'm going to definitely go with Bougie Brother Sean. What happens in the house stays in the house. I totally agree with the fact that should stay there, even if it's the truth. I do understand that it would definitely preserve, Dennis Graham trying to be an artist to put out there that he's not a deadbeat father. But regardless, look what you're doing in the process. You're bringing your son down who is supporting your career right now. All right, so we're going to hop right into our next question. All right, you guys, so J. Cole has recently announced his album that's going to be dropping in the fall. He did this really cute little presidential election video that kind of promoted the video. So Dame Diddy, I'm going to ask you, do you feel like this next album, we will finally see something that he's produced majority, not by himself?
I think J. Cole is going to mainly do co-producing on this project. I've seen that during the whole Dreamville process, he had been working with Illmind and a whole bunch of other producers, and that's just the way J. Cole works. He does a lot of, if he doesn't do it just by himself, he'll have somebody else come in and he'll help that producer kind of get the sound that he wants. So I think he will work with other producers to get the sound that he's looking for, but I don't think he'll be the main name behind the keys. You'll see a few with just him, but the majority will be somebody else and J. Cole.
Okay. Bougie Brother Sean, what's your thought on it?
I think he's been doing a really good job personally with him just producing all of his own music. But yes, with these past 2 years that he's been heavy on the features, 19 and 18, Cole has been out here with these features. And then the fact that his platinum album that Dreamville brought out with everybody collabing on it, I'm pretty sure he has like maybe 10 tracks from that session in the cut. And I'm pretty sure he's going to use a few of those. But yeah, for the most part, I still think it's going to be half J. Cole, half co-producer.
Okay. Chris Dog, what do you say? Half J. Cole, half producer, all J. Cole?
I think the sound that you're going to get is going to end up sounding like all J. Cole. It may have other people's name on it, but I'm not sure if he's to the point yet where he's going to relinquish that and give away the tones that got him to the point to where he is right now. And it's been working, so it's no need to water it down. I mean, bring in help and, you know, lighten your load up a little bit, because, you know, he's been going pretty hard. So I don't mind him doing that, but I think by the end of the day, when the music come out, it's going to still sound like him, because he's going to be all over it.
Well, I'm going to go with Chris Dog on this one. I do believe that J. Cole, you know, he has a formula. It's been working for him. I know he had a lot of underground fans, you know, before he even blew up. So most people like that, they kind of stick to what they know best. Now, you guys, on to the next question. You know, we've had artists in the past that have given out their numbers, their addresses to their fans. Chris Brown was having his beef with Offset. We all noticed he posted his information on Instagram. So my question to you guys is, you know, is this becoming a thing? You know, will artists continue to give out their information? And honestly, what's the purpose of doing it? You know, now Chris Brown is doing it because he's currently having an estate sale in California. Do you think that is smart to do the same thing?
Well, most of the numbers, because Doja Cat did it, P. Diddy did it, it's actually a service. It's a service that you can sign up for where you get a number that you can give out to fans. It's basically a promotional tool where you can pretty much say, hey, I got a concert coming up here, and it's going to send everybody a text message. It'll let you basically lock down and call actual fans without having access to your actual real phone number. So seriously, in all actuality, it's just a service. So yeah, I think everybody's eventually going to get on board. It's just taking a while, just like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. It's just a small transition, and mostly the bigger artists will do it. The smaller artists will probably give out their real number, not realizing it's a service. But yeah, it's definitely a service.
Chris Dog, again, like I said, Chris Brown is currently, he's having an estate sale, a 2-day estate sale at his home. Do you think that's wise to invite your fans there? I'm certain everyone's going to be there.
Yeah, well, giving out your personal number, that's not a thing. That's not a thing at all. They said they can provide a number that can be called for, you know, the fans to reach out to you. Like, I remember my daughter getting a Justin Bieber album, and he had a number on there. She called it. It was a fan hotline. I mean, that's been going on for a little while now. That was at least 10 years ago. So it's not a new thing. I don't think it's going to ever trend like that. You got too many other forms of reaching out to fans besides trying to actually call their phone number or text them. So anybody who really think they're going to get an actual artist direct line is a fool.
Okay. So what do you think? I know we had a Texas artist do that. Well, there was actually Mike Jones. He spit out his number in his song. Is that a thing that they're doing now, Sean?
Well, I think it's always been a trendy thing, like everyone else is saying. But going back to your point of putting out your address to your house, I think that's very skeptical. I think that is one of the most outrageous things to do. Luckily, what Chris Brown, most of his fans already know his address. And it's been going on. He's been having issues, people popping up at his crib already. So for particularly Chris Brown, he feels like, well, y'all already know where I stay. I might as well, you know, sell some of this stuff and make it a whole shebang, you know, so to speak. But I don't necessarily know if giving out your address would be the proper thing, especially if you got kids and you're just coming up in the game. You know, if you're a super celebrity, I wouldn't even, if I was Kanye West, you know, and I had 4,000 acres, I still wouldn't invite everybody over there. It would be just outrageous. And then for the phone number thing, I think it's old. To be honest, I think people need to find a more creative way to do it. I think the phone number thing is very gimmicky. Like you said, if anything, it's just a service and it's just a hotline, then, you know, that just doesn't fly for me. If you're going to be engaging in the fans, you know, let's really be about that.
Most addresses are going to be public knowledge anyway. I mean, like, I can tell you where T.I. lives at right now. I can show you where Cam Newton's house is. I mean, that's not necessarily something that you got to hide from somebody. People are going to find that out anyway. It's not necessarily hiding stuff, but like I said, I don't think it's a thing at all.
Okay, but do you think it's safe?
It's definitely not safe.
Okay. Yeah, to Bougie, you know, Brother Sean's point, I mean, I don't think it's safe. Chris Brown, he does have children. I do think it's an event, that he's trying to have, but it does make me a little bit, leery inviting all those people into your home. So I'm going to definitely have to give that point to Sean. I don't think it's a good look. I definitely think it's old. I also think it's a little bit thirsty. You do it maybe for shock value or for people to say, oh, I have this person's number. You're not going to really answer. So again, that point is going to go to Sean. We're going to come back. We're going to do good, bad, no look when we get back.
Hey, bro, I see your beard been growing. What you been using?
Hey, what maestro?
Hi, I'm using Coils by nature. It's all in my bed. I like how I feel, and they come in like 4 different flavors. I see that it's growing and it's looking healthy, man. You make me feel like a baby. I'm trying to get like you, man. Stop it. No, for real, man. I gotta go cop it. So tell me a little more about it. You know I got you, cause you gotta try it. I'm black on business and they rock it. At Coils by nature, go follow. You start with the cleanse it and wash it. And next you gon' need to detox it. And then it's the oils, the butter, and they even got beard and face moisturizer. I'm playing.
All right, you guys, welcome back to With That Being Said. We are now at Good Look, Bad Look, No Look. So the Doja Cat Sophomore album, Dame D, what would you say? Good look, no look, bad look?
Man, it's an amazing look, man. Doja Cat, man, if you listen to her music, go back. First time I actually heard her, a couple of our fans asked us to do a reaction to this music video called Moo. I hated it. I was like, what the hell is this? This girl is making a joke out of hip hop music. I didn't like it. But then somebody was like, yo, that's not what she does. Listen to her music. And I listened to her music. We did an album review for her first album which is named after her middle name. And it sounded amazing. This album is actually a step further than that. She gives you a variety of different sounds. She found a way to change it up. And then she found a nice balance of being like goofy and playful and being very serious. So I love the new album.
Okay. And let's see, Sean, so what do you think about the album? Good look, no look, or bad look?
I'm going to have to ride that same horse that Diddy just got on, man. This is a great album. She definitely built on it from her first album. I think it was called Amala. I didn't even catch it until the deluxe came out, like maybe 8 months after. But to that Moo, her first single and her first shot was Moo. It was extremely gimmicky. It was something that I was like, okay, who is this? I seen the video first on Twitter, and it wasn't even like a hip hop thing, but she's not gimmicky. She knows how to market herself. I think that's the best thing about her. She knows how to sell herself to make you listen to her music. And with this project right here, it sold me even more. I think I'm going to say she's 2 for 2 with this one.
Chris Dog, are you a big fan of Doja?
Man, let me tell you, Doja Cat, oh my God. I don't even know who she is, okay?
All right, well, you guys, Doja sounds like a really, really hot album. I'm going to make sure I personally go check it out. And I'm going to give that point to Dame, honestly, because he mentioned Tia Tamara, 2 of my favorite twin celebrities. So now I know I personally got to go check it out. Chris Dog and I will be checking that out together to make sure he gets the point for the next go around, okay? All right, you guys, and let's talk about Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj has been a very hot topic, with all the new up-and-coming rappers coming up and her feeling, ways that she's been feeling, also telling us that she's going to retire from music. Now she's saying that whites are better than blacks. I personally am a Nicki fan, so I'm a little taken back by that. But I'm very interested to hear what you guys think. Chris Dog, what are your takes on that?
I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. I'm calling bullshit on it. It come from a whack-ass source. You're going to have to give me better details than just she says blacks are better than whites. I haven't heard it. It ain't been confirmed. I'm calling bullshit on it. It's not what she going to do. Nicki Minaj is not that person. That's it.
Dame Diddy, she said it?
Yeah, she said it. And what she was saying is the media, as far as how they cover her. That was what the reference was. So with that being said, a year ago, she was complaining that the white media like to make her look like a devil. So it's just like, make up your mind, Nicki. It's so annoying. I love Nicki Minaj. Like when she first came out, I was the biggest barb in the world. She retweeted some of the things I said a couple times on Twitter. I love Nicki Minaj. And then for some reason, like she just started going on this ego trip that everybody was out to take her out, which was totally bogus. There is no Nicki hate train. There are some people that do hate on Nicki, but there's some people that hate on Cardi B. There's some people that hate on Rhapsody. Everybody has hate. I got haters. And I ain't even that famous. So with that being said, name of the show, Nicki Minaj is tripping. I don't know what she's out here talking about. She's just Nicki is about shock value and trying to get ears to Queen Radio. That's all she's about at this point. She won't drop an album because she's scared it will underperform what Cardi B is doing. She just needs to relax. Go ahead, have that baby. Enjoy her marriage. And people will rock with her just for being herself. She don't got to act out like this all the time.
Sean, what do you think? Nicki's saying that, whites are better than blacks. And I understand that it came from the music media, as we're stating. What are your takes on that?
Well, actually, it came from her own Twitter page. Let's go ahead and get that corrected. And she did say black media was worse than white media. So, yeah, BET did trash her last year after the award show. And yeah, black media does go hard on their own, but that's no surprise. She's been doing it for the past almost 20 years. So I'm trying to figure out now why she's trying to push this narrative that white media praises her. Now she has her little Fendi deal, and like she just on this little high horse that I don't understand why she feels like she's on when she knew she had to quit because the competition was getting too heavy on her back. So it's just odd how you want to talk reckless on media, but you can't drop an album and you can't come back on the competition that's really out here for real. This is the first time in her career that she actually got some real competition out here, and you retire and then you want to talk about black media. Last time I checked, you had a little bit of that in you too, and it's all for just show. So I feel like she's dangerously going towards the Kanye West lane.
I can see that, Sean. Now, do you think her not making music anymore, is that going to tarnish her career?
Definitely. If she keeps talking this crazy stuff and she doesn't have nothing to back it up, just a podcast, nah, she's not going to make it too far. They're going to definitely forget about her with the Rhapsodies and the Cardi B's and the Meg Thee Stallions that's out here. Meg Thee Stallion can easily replace her if she continue down this road of talking reckless on podcasts.
Dame, will it tarnish her career if she quits making music?
I think first of all, I don't think she's going to quit making music. I do think she will slow down a little bit. But at the same time, first of all, one thing that Sean said, that this is the first year she's had competition. She's had a lot of competition over the year. It just hasn't been mainstream competition. This is the first time she's getting mainstream pressure. She's cracking under all of this pressure. Like, Cardi just called her out for the Karol G feature that she got. She's like, I didn't do the feature. That's the reason why Nicki got the feature. So that's the position that Nicki is starting to get relegated to. She's basically the second best female rapper next to somebody that doesn't even write their raps, and she cannot stand it.
All right, Chris, what type of hit is her career going to take? Like he stated, there are so many hot names out right now in the female rap community. Nicki retiring what I would consider to be early. Will this have a huge tarnish on her career?
It may tarnish her a little bit. She's already stated her claim. Her place in history already been in cement. The female artist, everybody's saying competition. I felt like she was rapping with competition right next to her. I mean, she was on the same track with Drake and Wayne, and she was in the same lanes making music while all of these male artists. Now we're talking about female artists jumping out there, and now it's saying competition. She's always had competition, and she's held her own. She's a senior in the game. And right now, yes, she has competition. Yes, she fell back from it, but I don't think that's going to do nothing to tarnish her name. That happened to a lot of rappers throughout their careers.
Okay, Chris Dog won me at the end. I'm going to be very honest when I say that. I do believe that Nicki is a vet in the game. That's what saved you on that point just now, because she has been doing this a while. Do I believe that she's had that competition? I don't think they were pushing the competition like they're doing now. But because I personally consider her a GOAT. I do think now is her time. I think that if she does quit making music, I do think personally she'll be okay. So I'm going to give that point to Chris Dog. I know a lot of you guys may not agree, but that's just my point on that one. All right, guys, on to our next topic. So after a 14-year delay, Lil Kim just dropped an album titled 9. Do you think she's going to drop did she drop a quality project after this 14-year delay?
For 14 years, I think it was fair. I think it was actually a good project to build on because it actually didn't have that southern sound that we are all accustomed to hearing right now, and it still gave a little New Yorkish, but it was different. but it was still creative. So I really appreciated her for not jumping on that bandwagon South sound and creating her own sound. So yes, it was definitely something that she can build on if she puts something out within the next 12 months.
All right, Chris Dog, what do you think about the Queen Bee's album 9?
I think it was an okay album. I don't think it was anything that's going to go down in history or anything like that. She needed to put something out, like stated in the last question. It talked about Nicki Minaj running away from competition. She's steady trying to run into the competition. She really ain't got no business doing it. But she has a name and she's able to push it. So I say go for it. I just don't think, I think her time has long passed. And if this is a way for her to, you know, stay relevant in her eyes, I say keep on doing it. I just don't think the album was worth a damn.
Dame Diddy, are you a fan of Miss Lil Kim?
First off, can I get some Q-tips in this bitch? Because I think we need to clear out Chris Dog and Bougie Brother Sean's ears. What? Okay? The 9 album was okay. Y'all is tripping. That album is trash. Nobody wants to hear Kim with auto-tune. Nobody wants to hear. We did an album review for this on my podcast. We got a couple little trolls in there talking about, oh, y'all hating, blah, blah, blah. But most people actually agree with us. That is trash. Nobody wants to hear Kim doing that. And the bad part is she's supposed to be dropping another album. It was supposed to come out the following week, but it didn't. It's probably because of the poor reception that this album had. After 14 years, she gave us that classic, The Naked Truth. And this is what you come out with after that. Nobody wants to hear auto-tune Lil Kim. It is not swaggy. It's not trendy. It is not cool. She didn't follow the South. No, she shouldn't have. She should have did what she does. Lil Kim style of music. That is not what this is. This is some bullshit. Ridiculous.
We're going to wrap this up before we go into our commercial like this. That point is going to go to Dame Diddy. Honestly, I don't want to hear Lil Kim album. I'm not interested, especially not on auto-tunes. So I'm definitely going to give that point this way. I'm certain there are a lot of people that will agree as well as disagree, but I'm definitely going to give that point to Dame Diddy. We are now tied up right now with 2 apiece. And when we come back, we will come to the last question to see who's going to win it all.
All these niggas out here trying to ball. I'm just out here trying to win. Lord forgive me for all my sin. Real nigga just can't pretend. I put it all on the line. I tell him right now it's my time. Yeah, I ain't waiting for land, nigga. Damn sure ain't waiting for signs. Yeah, all of my niggas on go. I work for back on the low. And if I say I'ma do something, just know I'ma do it for sure.
All right, you guys, we are back. With that being said, now Uncle Luke is calling out the NFL for not using Miami-based artists for the Super Bowl. I'm going to start with you, Chris Dog. How do you feel about that? Do you feel that they should use local artists for the Super Bowl in their area?
Of course. When the city wins the Super Bowl, that city should be providing all the resources that come from that city, because this is an opportunity for them to capitalize on bringing money to their city, whether it be like in Atlanta when we built out different areas, use that platform to, you know, push different agendas for the city itself, whether it be a mayor putting their face out there or whatever. It's just for that city. And since they won the Super Bowl bid, they should definitely be putting on, especially the fact being that they have more than enough talent to do it with. It was really disrespectful.
Sean, you know, how do you feel about that? You know, kind of piggybacking off of what Chris Dog just said.
Over the last few years, I learned that the NFL is not trying to sell to a certain genre or region of people. So since they're not trying to sell to a certain region of people, they're looking for a mass or bigger way to collect money. So having Celine Dion or Selena or, you know, whoever's outside of Miami that they want to actually use, I feel like it's for a bigger picture. Yeah, the city should have better artists, or the city should have more global artists to put on that stage. Hey, maybe Pitbull, they could have gave him a call. It would have worked out for him.
Okay, Diddy, how do you feel about that? Should they use local artists? I mean, NFL is huge. I mean, so do you think that's a good chance for them to spotlight their artists, or do you think that they should kind of keep it, you know, universal where they're able to use anyone?
Well, I think they should use local artists. That's just my personal feelings. But at the end of the day, the NFL is a corporation. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. They're going to go out and they they're gonna cater to the Hispanic audience with the people that they chose. What, J-Lo? I can't even remember who they picked. They could have easily picked Pitbull, like they said. Pitbull would have been an easy pick. Flo Rida would have been an easy layup. White people love them as well. But at the end of the day, they do what they want to do. I say we stop giving a fuck and we do us. We do our own shows. We go ahead and hire the artists that we want to hire. If Luke thought he was getting a Super Bowl spot, he must be tripping. Ain't nobody about to do no hoochie mama at the Super Bowl. Now, we think it would be fire, but for the white audience that watches the NFL, they like, hell no, that ain't happening. So they went with something more Caucasian friendly with who they chose for the Super Bowl. I don't like it, and that's why I ain't watching it.
Like I said, everybody had really, really great answers. I 100%, I do agree with Chris Dog. You know, they should use the local artists. This is their chance to shine, to put their city on the map. However, we all know this is a business and the money has to be made. So I am going to give that point to Dame because, again, it's a business. They have to do who's going to cater to everybody, not just a select few or what we think or what we would like to see. So again, I'm going to give that point to Dame Diddy, which is going to make him our winner of today's With That Being Said. Diddy, what you got for us?
Hey man, Q-tips for Bougie Brother Shot and Chris Dog all day. Because I don't know what the hell they listening to over there. I can give them one of my playlists and they could be rocking, listening to some real music. We got one person say he don't know what Doja Cat was. Tripping, right? I know where to find me.
All right, you guys. It's your girl, Queen Candace, on the show. With That Being Said, check us out again. We'll see you soon.